All right, we're here. We're watching Durag Willie take on Rip Morpheus 24. It's also Evan Lynn. Durag Willie being Will Mason here, and I'm going to try my best to do some play-by-play for this chess match. You're going to do the color. Let's get to it.
Yeah, so I mean, right here we have a solid opening. It looks like what Evan is doing is what's called the French, and what Will seems to be doing is he was trying to get his pawns out early. He's trying to. They're playing this kind of modern defense. Obviously, you could see it right up here. It's more of a modern castling coming from Evan. Now, if you look at the elo here, you see that Will has a significantly higher number. Well, in terms of what the numbers are, 193 compared to 315. But trust me, folks, it gets close and it gets intense. Evan has been practicing a couple hours out of the day, including yesterday, and he is just really getting to a groove of it. I mean, looking at this, you couldn't tell this is a 193 play. I mean, this is like a 400 opening, and same with Will. So this is an important opening. No one's particularly done anything yet. They haven't exchanged pieces, but this is definitely, I can already tell, going to be a really intense matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it and learn a little bit more about chess along the way. You see Evan is kind of being hesitant to move his pawns. He's been using the knights a little bit, moves his bishop here, and we'll see how he continues to move through here as he moves it to e6 on his side. I don't know, Evan, you said he's been practicing a lot. He's been spending fourth blocks, going over it, and trying to get his, what do you call it, an ELO? Is that your score?
Yeah, getting his ELO up.
So he's been doing a good job. I mean, he's got it to 193, and like you said, he seems to be doing okay now, but they still haven't exchanged pieces quite yet.
Yeah, when usually pieces aren't exchanged like this is when you can tell that this game is going to get a little rowdy. They castle on both sides here. Now, usually when people castle on two different sides, that's when pieces are going to start flying. But they castled on the same side, which at least in terms of white is actually not bad. I think the winner so far, who's winning the beginning opening, is slightly favoring Will. Evan made a fairly weird move here. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Will is offering to change a piece. Actually, he does what's called a fork. This is when he can take this piece or this piece, and Evan is in some big trouble here because this is going to have Will be up in some points of material.
And when you say those pieces, you mean the knight and the bishop there.
Correct.
On the left and right side of his pawn. And you see he makes a quick move here. The bishop going closer and closer towards Will's white pieces. What does that mean?
So what he did right here, Will is now, this is actually a really good move for Evan here because what Evan could do is he's got a couple moves here. He's got, for Evan, or for Will, he's pinning his piece. That's actually really good what he just did. This is what's called gaining tempo. Gaining tempo is really important, especially in chess. Now Evan is actually up a move, which is, when you, in chess terms, it's not a term you really, when you think of chess, you getting ahead of a piece is not something you think of, but now he's ahead of in a move, which is important because now Will is now needing to play defense. Now he needs to watch out for this piece. Now he needs to watch out for these other pieces. And Will doesn't have much. He doesn't have much movement coming from this left side. This left side is stuck. And Will is actually doing a really good job right here. He is essentially trying to force Evan to lose some of his pieces. And right here, he's doing a perfect job of it. Evan has no single place to put that bishop. So what Evan's going to do is he's going to have to take, or he takes with his other two pieces, and even then he'll be down material.
So that term "take," what does that mean? Is that simply, doing something, an offensive move, and removing that piece from Will's side? What does "take" mean?
When you take a piece, it just means you're taking a piece, right? So if Evan were to just go here, that's called taking. He's just taking his piece here. Evan is in a tough spot. I mean, clearly, he hasn't moved in a couple seconds. He's already down almost over a minute to Will now. So Evan is really taking more time to think. But at the end of the day, you win also by time too. So you need to make sure that you're, using enough time, but not using too much. I mean, Evan spent 50 seconds right there on that move.
Wow. So what would you say is a good soft spot? About like 30 seconds per move? Maybe less than that? What do you see?
Less than that. I mean, chess games can go, some people take all day, and then the final minute they just start throwing pieces. That's not exactly what you want, but you also don't want to spend, 2 seconds on each move. You got to think about it. A good soft spot is between 5 to 10 seconds. For them, probably between 5 to 15.
Okay.
Evan's doing a really good job here punishing this rook,
Dang,
and he
that was
doesn't.
terrible.
Wow, Will does not see it, and he takes his rook. Will is now down 5 points. Now he's down 2 points because of a foolish mistake. He didn't see that bishop come and take his rook.
Wow.
Should have just traded.
That's
those.
wild. So Evan makes a big move. He uses bishop to take Will's rook on that one or the G1's position there, and that's a big move. I don't know much about chess, but I can see the tides have definitely changed here.
Definitely, 100%. I mean, and Evan is doing, I'm not sure who was teaching Evan, but Evan is now up and he's offering to change and switch material. He's offering to exchange material. This is what you do when you're winning. When you're winning, you want to exchange material. You want to get to an end game because at the end of the day, Evan is up two more pieces or 2 more pawns, I should say, 2 more pawns than Will is. So he'll have more of an advantage in the end game. And an end game is just towards the end of the chess match when there's very little pieces left. And every piece matters. I do like that Will has a good control of the center. I mean, he's got this whole H. He's got half the H file. He's got a lot of these moves he can make on the board. I would like for him to get more. The perfect move. I literally would have done the same thing. He moves it out. Now he controls all this file because he can take that. And sure, he can take, but now he can slide in, pause with different pieces. He can go here and here, and then he can just go anywhere he wants.
So are you saying that it's from 1A diagonally up to the other side of the board and towards like the bottom of the screen? He controls that area?
Essentially, I mean, he's controlling what's called the A file, or the whole green file. I mean, you have 2 bishops when you start, the white and the green, or the white and the black, and this is green, but he controls almost all this now, which is part of the center. And in chess, you want to control as much of the center as you possibly can.
Got you. So things are a lot more spaced out for Will here, but not so much for Evan. What's the difference here? The black piece is more clumped together. He's trying to vary towards the center. Will spread it out and towards the left side. What does that mean?
So in terms of winning, Evan is winning. But in terms of position, Will is definitely winning. He hasn't moved his queen yet. He's yet to unite his rooks. Uniting your rooks is strong because 2 rooks are 10 points. Combined, so you want to make sure that they can both see each other for the most part. I mean, this pawn structure is just dream and godlike. I mean, because you can't take this because that'll defend. You can't take that because that'll defend. You can't take that because that'll defend. These are just critical for playing a good game. And Evan offering to exchange pieces, this is perfect. This is what you want. If you're Evan, though, you want to become, and your Will. If you're Evan and Will, you want to use your queen a little more. I mean, it's the best piece in the game. Why would you not want to use it?
The queen being the one that just looks blatantly like a crown. Right now, Will's is in D1 and Evans is in D8. So neither of them have moved them at all yet. And bang, a big move there. Yep. The rook takes the bishop there, and Evan exchanges and takes another piece of Will's.
Now, Will is in trouble here because now Evan can take this piece for actually, no, he can't. He cannot take this piece for free. But what Evan should do is, if he's smart, he'll use his knight to take this piece, and then he can take his knight. And so Evan will essentially just gain himself another piece, which is critical. Again, every piece counts in this game, but I don't think Evan saw it. So I think it's Will's turn now, but not a bad move. Also, he's doing a good job at defending his rook now because now he takes that piece. Now, ooh! Not a bad move from Will. I'm not the biggest fan of it, though.
Why is that?
Because, again, he needs to start moving his queen a little more. So he does. I mean, these knights haven't moved. There we go. There's from Evan. He's starting to move the queen a little more. I mean, that's the best piece in the game. Why would you not use it? Right here, they're just stuck. You want to start using them a little more. You want to go here. You want to go here. There are so many places you can put them, but you have to watch out. Actually, right here is a very safe space. I get it. It's right between these 2 pieces, but trust me, if you move this piece here, it controls a bunch because now you can make sure that no other pieces can come here. Ooh.
Moving up his queen a little bit more, getting it more into the action.
Will definitely using his queen a little more. Now he's controlling most of this B file, which is good, again, because it's controlling the center.
So when you talk about the queen being one of the most powerful pieces in the game and wanting to utilize it a lot more than they have been so far. Why is that? What can the queen do?
The queen can go essentially anywhere. I mean, the queen has, look at all this range of motion it could go. It can go here, it can go here, here. It can make a whole square. It can go diagonally. It can go up and down. It is just doing, it's the best piece. It's worth 9 points. And if you lose your queen early or someone has a queen, you don't, there's a good chance. Oh, and he blunders. Will blunders it. Evan can take his knight and take. And he does. Evan sees it. And Evan is up 13 points of material. Bro. And Will, I don't know if you can see Will. He is freaking out in the background. Terrible. It is getting tense. Evan making a little smirk here. We can see him smiling a little more. Both faces are red. He hangs his queen. Daniel, this is huge. If you're Evan, you can take this piece as free. This piece is literally free. There's no defense of it. He could possibly slide this here. That's not a horrible move from Evan either. This is called a pin, which means he cannot move this bishop. And he can take this if he forces Will to move this rook somehow. That's actually a really good defense for it because now Evan can't take this because of these two. He's got the rook and the knight to take if the rook takes Will's bishop.
This is a Rocky-like story here, folks.
Nearly wow. What a piece taking from Evan. Evan is smiling and Will is, I can't even see Will's face. He looks in defeat here.
Over 100 difference in ELO, and man, Evan charging forward like Rocky himself and showing off this underdog story. That's insane.
Evan, right here. Evan, you can take right here. This piece is free. There's no, yes, he takes it.
Oh my gosh. Evan.
And he put him in a check. It's getting heated. Okay, Evan, now you don't necessarily have to get a little cute with it now. What you can do is if, oh no, Evan. Why would you do that?
So what happened there?
So Evan decided to take this, which is a free piece, true. Mm-hmm. But look what else is free. He can now take this.
Wow.
Evan, you can tell. I mean, Evan's up 24 points of material. So, I mean, it's not a huge problem. But we need to make sure if you're Evan. Now, okay, so now he's up 19. So he did take the rook. You want to make sure you're being careful about this. The good move by Evan, making sure that he cannot take his knight. Solid move. If you're Evan, you want to look for close checks. You want to get rid of this knight, or you really want to make sure that this king is naked, essentially. That's essentially when there's nothing that you can do to defend himself. He's got a queen here, a rook here. He can checkmate with both pieces by doing what's called a ladder checkmate. That's if Evan knows what that is, and it's fairly simple. It's one of the first things you learn. I'm not really liking that move from Will. I mean, you're getting out of danger. You could have went here to put some pressure. You could have went here to put some pressure, but he doesn't do that. Very good move by Evan. Evan is doing a very aggressive job, and I love this kind. And this is a blunder. He can take this. Oh, and he doesn't. Evan easily could have took that bishop for free. That was literally a donation by Will.
Wow.
And he doesn't take it. Oh, and he can do it again. He can take it right here.
Let's see if he does.
Does Evan do it?
Awaiting Evan's move.
Oh, no. I think Will knows what he did. No, he checks. That isn't bad. He can afford a check. But we don't want that. Evan, you got to look at what you can do on the board. Before you make a move, you have 3 minutes. That's a good move by Will. Okay. He decides to take, which is fine. I necessarily wouldn't have done that. Actually, yeah, he can because he's defended by this pawn. I think Will got the wrong idea. Move that rook out the way. No. No, Evan, no. You don't want to make that move. Now, Will is now shorter on time here. Okay, Evan has 3 minutes and 15 seconds, whereas Will has 2 minutes and 39 seconds. They got to start making moves a little faster now. They don't got to put much pressure, but they got to get some moves going.
So I have to ask, right now with the big material difference, right? Will's got 1 piece and Evan has over 5. Is the difference now like, okay, Evan is almost, it's a foregone conclusion, he's going to get this win, or could Will still take the win here?
I mean, for Will, he physically cannot win. What can happen is what's called a stalemate. A stalemate is it's a term. It just means tie. A stalemate in chess is when the king is either he's not in check, but he physically cannot move, or there isn't enough pieces to make a checkmate. And what Evan is doing is he's just running he's got a red carpet. And oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'm changing subject here, but now what he's doing is he just promoted his pawn to a queen if you do that on the other side. And what's happening is he can mate in one. No, there's mate in one, Evan.
You get the mate.
No, Evan, you can still mate in one. Mate in one. Checkmate is right here. Checkmate is right here.
You have the mate, bro. Get it.
How do I get it?
Get the mate, bro. You literally have it. Just end it.
Evan, slide right here. Evan, slide right here.
No, you're not. You already had it 3 moves ago.
Oh, Lord.
Evan, no. We can hear him in the back.
Bro, what is he doing?
Is Evan going to
He
stop?
drew
Yes!
It's a stalemate.
Huge! Let's go!
It
Let's do
will.
a stalemate.
Screaming
Wow.
in victory as Evan might have committed the sell
We
of
did that
the
big
century.
No.
Checkmate,
Yes.
sitting there. The table
He
is made,
sells it.
and he decides not
He
to eat
puts
the
him in a
food.
stalemate. He had
My
mate in one
God.
multiple
Yes, I
times.
don't
He
know how he
easily
does
could have
it
had it.
wrong.
Wow.
Oh my God! And as a chess player, that especially for Will,
Oh my
even though he was
gosh.
getting his whole game messed up, he somehow and some way was able to make Will tie the game, and now it is a tie. Now no one wins, no one loses. What a game of chess!
Let's get some post match interviews here. So Squig, I'll let you go ahead and talk to Will. I'll talk to the loser, or I guess stalemate, but somebody who kind of sold the match. So let's go ahead and get some post match interviews. Go ahead and talk to Will.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Will Mason. It ended in a stalemate or a draw. Will, we saw you early. You were doing a decent job with your openings, and then you threw away your queen. Then you threw away your rook. You were throwing away pieces like it was charity. What happened, and what's something you need to look out for?
You know, I gotta look at the board, look ahead of my move. That was my big problem. Let my queen go, and I did that, and I'm just, wow, this game's over. He doubles up on the queen. I only have a king left, and draw. That's a victory after what happened here. So I'm very proud of that. Getting out of there with just a draw. It's very well played end.
You know, you played Evan for a couple rounds yesterday. Is there any improvements that you saw that you need to watch out for? Is Evan more of a threat to you than he was last time?
Oh, 100%. He's definitely making big moves. He's putting you in places where you got to make a predicament and you got to make that choice. And, playing him compared to 2 days ago, it's a game changer. So, I mean, I'm happy I get out of there with the draw, though.
Guys, that was Will Mason. What a performance that you played. Game ending in a draw. Congratulations to that. Even with a huge lead with Evan, you were somehow able to tie it. Good luck next round.
All right, now bringing Evan here into the frame and talk to him. Evan, look, you had an opportunity. The table was made. I gave the line. The table was made for you. Silverware is all out. You just decide not to eat the food for whatever reason. Is it something you just didn't see? Was it just the opportunity was sitting there and you didn't know it was there?
I feel like I'm just really bad at seeing checkmate. Like I'm just, it doesn't come easy to me, and I definitely missed some opportunities. I definitely had the game won.
So Will's ELO is over 100 more than yours, and a couple of days ago you played him. Things fared a lot differently. I believe Will got the win. Now you had the win sitting right there in front of you, and you have an opportunity to beat him. So you know you could do this probably consistently. How does it feel now, improving so much and being able to threaten Will so heavily in just a couple of days?
It's good. I'm disappointed in the draw, but I'm also very happy with how I played, and I think I got the momentum.
All right, that's Evan and Will, a match to definitely go and look back on. That was very, very fun. Thank you for joining us here. Durag Willie and RIP Morpheus 24 facing off here in this chess match with the Mishawaka Network.